Mr. and Mrs. McKamey. What's good, y'all?
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, welcome to Easy TV, bro.
You know, I'm glad you made time for us, man. Thanks for having us.
Oh, for sure, man. I when I first started this, man, I was like, I gotta get my brother on here, man. You know, him and his wife. So here we are. You know, we talked about this 2 months ago. It's been.
Oh man, we talked about it, and then all this crazy stuff popped off.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of pushed it back. You know, I was thinking, man, we would have waited until all this crazy stuff smoothed over. But then, you know, me and you talked today and was like, let's just do a virtual interview and let's get it knocked out.
Oh, for sure. No question. But first and foremost, man, I just want to tell y'all, y'all always welcome into a brother, man. At this point, we family now, you know what I'm saying? So
without a doubt. That's what Amy was saying today.
Yeah.
She was like, is he in the family yet? I'm like, he's always at all of T's events. He always at our events, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You mingle with all the family, you know, blood wouldn't make us any closer, bro.
Oh,
so,
yeah, no question.
In my book, you family.
Yeah. Man, I was trying to get y'all on here first, man. But yeah, true. I was trying to get y'all on here first. Like, I was going to make y'all, like, my first guest.
Man, that's dope, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I just want to tell y'all, though, man, y'all some people I look up to. Been looking up to y'all for a while, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here. I ain't got no wife or nothing like that in the makings, you know what I'm saying? One day, I guess. But, you know, I'm just always trying to learn from y'all, you know, trying to figure out how I can make my life better, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to y'all being inspiration. You know, we're from the same city, and it's not easy getting to where you've gotten, or even me, perhaps, you know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, man. What do they call it? They call it the trap, bro, because it's so easy to get stuck in that place, you know what I mean? So I commend anybody who makes it, not necessarily out of the city, but they make it to a place of growth from the city, if that makes sense, you know? Yeah. No matter where you're located, you have the ability to grow, you know, become a better version of yourself every day, you know? So I commend anybody. Like, man, I salute my hat off to you, a young, educated man. It's so easy to fall in the system. I tell you what, man, when I was your age, man, I was young and dumb in those streets, and the level of maturity, like the first time I met you, I'm like, man, this is a mature young man. Yeah. And it's crazy. It speaks volumes on how you were brought up and where you want to be. You see what I mean? So I commend you.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. I just grew up.
Like you say, you learn something from us, man. We learn something from you. We get something from everybody. Yeah. You know?
That means a lot to me, man. My environment growing up, I just always knew I wanted better. So I did whatever it took, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, still got a long way to go, though. I'm a long way from where I want to be. But before I get to asking you questions, man, I just want to say shout out to the family. Shout out to the kids, first and foremost, Lee, twins, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So,
all of them.
Yeah, all of them, man. Yeah. What are they? They in their rooms, anything? What are they at?
Upstairs right now.
Yeah.
They upstairs. I'm surprised you can't hear them, man. Those boys are rowdy. Some rowdy little dudes.
Yeah, man. For whoever watching this interview, man, I just wish I could see that beautiful house. I'm trying to get like them, man. I promise. And if you saw it, you would too. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate that, fam.
Oh yeah, no question.
And look, this right behind us, bro. I don't know if they ever tell you the story, but this is actual 24 karat gold in the paint right there.
Damn, but that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you got money on your walls.
Pretty much.
Man, it was funny. I was looking at the sales contract. The dude was telling us, he was like, man, if this house was destroyed today, for them to rebuild it exactly how it is now, it'd probably be about 3.5. You know what I mean? So we got an extremely great deal when we bought it. And the crazy thing is, Amy saw it on the internet.
The same night it got put on.
That night it got put on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was like, man, we're gonna drive out and see it. You know what I mean? It was probably about an hour and a half drive from DeSoto.
Yeah.
So we get there, and you know, man, we kick it off with the dude. The dude is actually a pilot. He flew in. You know what I mean? So that's the first time we came up there. We see a plane, like, what the hell is that? That's before we understood the houses have the airplane hangars on them.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the interview, I'll give you the tour of the plane here. The plane here. We'll give you a tour of that.
Hey, but, man, I know y'all heard what he just said. Gonna give us a tour of the plane. So y'all make sure y'all watch this interview and stay for the duration of it. But go ahead.
Yeah, we'll give you the tour of the plane and everything. But he flew in, so I didn't understand that. But we really kicked it off. You know, he loved the kids and everything. And it's funny, man, God works in mysterious ways. That same month, you know, I was selling our house in DeSoto, and we were selling it on our own. You know, no broker, no realtor or anything, because I understood if we did it ourselves, we saved 6% commission, which equated to about 55 more grand into our pocket, you know what I mean? And I had saw the process before, so I knew I could do it. You know, it was almost dummy proof, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we sold it ourselves, and the people were rushing us. They were like, man, can we move in by the 28th of December? I'm like, damn, we ain't even found a house yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, but we took a leap of faith. We were like, okay, we'll sell it. And even if we had to go, you know, get like a short-term condo or something, that's what we'll do until we find a house.
Yeah.
Well, it just so happened, Lil T bought that, you know, he had just moved yeah, he had just moved. So we sold, the people in on the 28th. We took that money. We found this house, and the guy, it was funny, after we hit it off and we made it here, we were like, he was like, well, if you can move into this house by the end of the year, 2019?
Yeah.
By the end of, it was 2018.
No, it was 2018, because I remember
Yeah.
I had just helped T move to his house, and it just all fell together like that.
That's exactly what it was.
He wanted to be at least in by January 1st.
Yeah, if we could be in by January 1st, he said the guy would take a substantial discount.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, well, I'll give you an offer right now. I won't disclose that, but it's up there. But we gave him an offer. He's like, well, let me call Rich, I think his name was. Let me call him real quick and see what he thinks. He's like, he accepted your offer. We're the first people to see the house, the first people in, the first offer made, and we got it.
Yeah, I called that morning, and I was like, can we get in to see? He's like, yeah, I got to there at 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh, it's 7:45. We'll be there. And then when we pulled up, we didn't even get to the house, and I was like, oh, he's going to make an offer by the time we get to the kitchen.
Yeah.
We walked in, by the time we got to the kitchen, he was like, I want to make an offer. I was like, I already knew.
Yeah, I already knew.
Was it love at first sight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And the crazy thing is this, man. It's crazy how you can sense somebody's spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went to, we called on a property. Where was that? I forget where that. I think it was in Cleburne, the Cleburne property.
Oh, yeah.
It was probably only about 5,000 square foot. You know what I mean? And they wanted like 880K. No, they wanted 1.1, and I offered like 880K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just shooting the BS. And you know, they were so rude about it and stuff. I'm like, man, we can meet their asking price, but you can sense when somebody's, you know, just ugly towards you.
And it had been sitting.
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah, it had been sitting, and it's still sitting to this day, bro. So they missed out on their blessing. You know what I mean?
Man, God don't like ugly. That's a fact, people.
He don't like it, man. Do right by people, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. But look, let's take. I want y'all to take me all the way back to the beginning, man. We finna go to the life beginnings before this empire, you know, started to be created.
When we first met.
Yeah, we about to talk about all that. You know, let the people, like, you ain't gotta just elaborate on it too much, because we just elaborate on it, bro. Okay, hey, I feel like this is gonna be one of my favorite interviews. I have
Bro, I already like your energy, man. Bro, can I get the story?
No, first? You cannot, because you're a stalker.
I'm not a stalker, bro. What was the year? This was probably like that's when we met.
Yeah, 2009.
I'm making sure you knew the
date.
So
look, in 2006, right? 2006, me and my friend, we ain't cool no more, but that's besides the point.
Yeah,
we were on MySpace. This is how long ago it was.
Man, MySpace.
I saw a picture, and I can tell you what picture it is. The picture of him, his sister, and Cam, his little brother.
With an orange shirt.
All wearing red. They're all wearing red. You're wearing red.
You don't know your color.
You're wearing red.
Yeah.
And so something just told me I was gonna marry him. So I was talking to her, and I was like, McKamey's, and she was like, girl, that's not how you say his last name. And I was like, oh, whatever. I said, well, I'm gonna marry him. And she was like, what? I said, I'm just BSing, but I was serious.
Yeah.
Like, something told me that. I had never met this man, never in my life. And then I had maybe seen him once or twice around the city. And then I think it was 2008 or 2000, right at the beginning of 2009, end of 2008. he was doing a show at one of the clubs that's closed down now. Club Legacy. And she was like, do you want to go? And I was like, no, I didn't really like to go to the clubs and all that. And so I was like, no, I don't want to go. But she was like talking to him on the phone or whatever. And then we saw his car at a local, what was it?
It's your story. Don't ask me.
I'm thinking it was the health clinic or whatever.
Is this the car with the rims on it though?
Yes, and it had the nuts hanging on the back.
Yeah.
And so we had left like a little note on his car or whatever.
I remember that.
And so then it was like May of 2009. He had messaged me on MySpace, and I was like, no, whatever. Like you just trying to shoot your shot or whatever. And so I just kind of blew him off. And so some months went by, maybe like 3 months went by, and he sent me another message. He's like, I guess you don't have no minutes on your phone. And I was like, what?
Bro, boy got the game.
Bro, they don't remember that, bro. You had to put minutes on those phones.
Yeah, man.
Or talk after 9.
Hey, man, bro, I remember that. I don't know if y'all remember. I'm pretty sure y'all remember Singular before it was AT&T.
Yes.
Oh, man, yeah.
They used to buy each other out all the time. Oh, you got your ministry after 9? I'm like, bet. I'm finna call all the little shorties up.
And so, he was like, you didn't have no minutes on your phone. And I was like, no, I just didn't want to talk to you. And so he was like pursuing. And so I was like, okay, you wanted to go to IHOP. That was our first date, went to IHOP. And then we went to IHOP, we talked for hours at IHOP. And then he tried to text my grandmother's house phone that evening. That's how far back it was, the house phone. And I was like, what? So after that day though, we were hanging out all the time. And then within 2 weeks, he asked me to marry him. And 2 weeks later, we were getting married.
Yeah, and it's crazy. People be like, man, y'all got married that fast? And y'all still rocking, you know what I'm saying? So I like to tell people, it don't matter how fast you get married if you with the right person.
If you know, you know.
I was just going to say that when you know, you know.
Yeah, and that's what Pusha T say. That's my boy.
Yeah.
But look, bro, this is how the story really went, bro.
Okay,
and about 2008, you know what I'm saying? I came through dripping, bro. I had just got my ears pierced. So I went to Pearson Pagoda, bro. Pearson Pagoda had a buy one earring, get one free. Yeah. So I had 2 little gold nuggets, you know what I'm saying? Really? So I'm clean. I'm real clean. So I figured she saw me. I know she saw me.
Yeah, she had to.
Stain on and everything. So she asked my friend, ooh, who is that?
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So she wanted to holler at me and stuff. I really wasn't feeling her, you know what I'm saying? Because back then, she really didn't have that much hair.
The lie.
And her edges, she had a bad perm, so her edges.
I've never permed my hair. Never.
Nah, hey, she told the real story, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to holler and stuff, but it worked out, you know what I'm saying?
I made him a yellow cake and chocolate ice, and that's what he wanted. I made it.
And it was up from there.
It was up from there, man. 10 years rocking, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We can give you the story from 10 years, man. I remember, like I said, we got married rather quickly. At that time, man, I was working at Sherwin-Williams, the distribution plant over there by Midway and all that way, you know, out there in Hewitt. Mm-hmm. Now, man, I was slaving, bro. I remember I was making $10 an hour at first, bro, and I'm killing. I'm getting all this paint. The manager, Shane, tells me, well, Warren, if you move to the night shift and you keep your productivity to this level, I'll give you a $2.50 raise. So I went to the night shift. Bro, back then, I thought $12.50, I thought I was balling.
You know, it was, though, at that time.
Yeah.
I guess so, man. I got a little apartment in Tanglewood, probably about 300 square foot, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to go from that, you know, $12.50, you know, all this manual labor, you know, from there, you know, and it's crazy, like when she was moving in and stuff, bro, it was like, man, I had a bachelor pad, you know, everybody would come to my house. I had a little recording studio. Like my closet was just a entire recording studio. You have people like, yeah, man, it's like, you remember, what's the classic Keystar mixtape? No, man. It was 8 shit is what it was called at first, man.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm talking about the single. My bad.
Yeah, man. That was originally recorded in my bedroom closet, fam. That was my dude like this, you know what I mean? You had OL3 coming through there, man. Yeah. A lot of these people you seeing now, that, you know, people saying, man, you know, I like their music. Man, I was the first people recording these people, man. People don't even realize that, man. Recording in my bedroom, you know. So we've always had ties to everybody, you know, but that used to be like the spot for everybody, you know. People come in. I remember before Rocco started really cutting, man, I had cut myself a plug, man. I tried to mess with the Clippers, man. Rocco come to my apartment, fix me up, man. We had everybody. Everybody came from humble beginnings, bro, and they would be in my little apartment, you know. Yeah. Then she come in, man, and all the homies, man, we living off of fish sticks and HEB juice, bro. That dollar HEB juice, bro. Yeah. And we just living the bachelor life, you know.
No cleaning
so then when she come in, man, the homies like, man, what's going on? I mean, the party at the end, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my shorty here, it's time for y'all to go.
we had to go, man. So we got married at Living Word Church of God in Christ on Dunbar Street in East Waco. And from there it was up, man. Shortly after, man, we had we had a miscarriage, bro. But she was pregnant, and I was still at Sherwin-Williams. I had no benefits or anything. Bro, I'm like, how in the hell I'm gonna support a family off this? You know what I'm saying? Because I was already thinking, this isn't where I want to be. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to be just Sherwin-Williams. You know what I mean? Man, I was killing it on the paint, man. Mm-hmm. You know, so I enlisted in the Air Force. I remember, man, it was me, Anthony Berry, it was Randy Evans, and congrats, Randy, just had a beautiful baby girl. It was us and a guy named Josh. The guy named Josh, man, we all took the ASVAB, you know, and I think at that time I was the only one that passed the Air Force ASVAB. Mm-hmm. You know, it was a dilemma, you know. Well, do I still go to the Air Force, or do I let my guys retest and we all go in at the buddy system? You know what I mean? Because at that time, bro, I was, even though I was working at Sherwin-Williams, I was in trouble all the time, man. I was hanging with the wrong crowd. So it was going to end up, if I stayed in Waco, nothing was going to come out of my life. You know what I mean? I was either going to be dead or in jail. You know, I was just with the wrong people. I was doing the wrong stuff. Yeah. So, you know, and that's how we all felt. It's like, man, we're just spinning our tires. Nothing's happening here. So we was like, you know, let's go to the Air Force. So when I passed, you know, I'm talking to the recruiter, and the recruiter actually took the pictures at our wedding.
He tried to get me to join too.
It was Kemper. Yeah, Ryan Kemper. Man, it's crazy. I got a mind like an elephant, bro. I remember everything. So, you know, he's telling me, you know, you can go in the Air Force. And at that time, it's you get a dream sheet, so you can select your dream jobs. And that's all it is. It's a dream, bro, because you're not going to get those. Yeah. You're going to get the job the Air Force needs. So I go in as air transportation. You know what I mean? And the description they give me, man, you're going to be loading up all these missiles and stuff. It's going to be the coolest gig. But it just so happens I get in a special unit, a CRW, a contingency response wing. And we just went all over the world, but you know, just that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. We did POTUS missions with the president and everything, but that's a whole different story. But it just shows from where we came from and the trajectory, you know, how it changed after getting married and making simple decisions. You know what I mean? We were bound to nothing happen, and you know, now we're here.
Yeah, and for the people watching this, I just want y'all to know they're still very young. No, success don't got nothing to do with being old. I just want y'all to know that. So
yeah.
That's crazy because I was gonna ask you about what made you join the military, but you already, you know.
Yeah. That's what made it, man. We had the child coming up, and I knew, man, I was getting in trouble, bro, left and right. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is, the military matured me as a man, bro. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, I mean, I was running those streets, you know what I mean, and doing all this crazy stuff that I shouldn't have, man. Like, all throughout high school, bro, I was that guy. I was always in alternative school, you know what I mean? Because, man, I would like to fight. You know, I'm cussing out the teachers and doing all this, but I was always a bright guy. My grades were always stellar, you know what I mean? But then I would get bored. You know, if I finish this stuff quick, I have nothing to do. Now I'm poking fun and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I excelled at track, you know, and I was popular in high school, and I had a terrible attitude. And just that combination, it didn't mix well, bro. You know, and you see that with a lot of people now. We have a lot of popularity, a lot of stuff comes easy, and you think you know it all when in reality you don't.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I know back in even middle school, man, Mr. Sexton, if you remember him with the thick glasses at Lake Air Middle School, I was bad then too, man. And he told me, you're never going to be anything. You're just a little punk.
Yeah.
That's what he told me, man. And, you know, even as I was growing up, that would replay in my head. You're never going to be anything. You're just a little punk. You know what I mean? And it's almost a motivating factor, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we showed you, you know what I mean? And it's just crazy, you know what I mean? And I think Amy had a similar background as well. She grew up in North Waco, North 21st. I come from North 37th. We moved from Austin to live with my grandma. It was like maybe 10 people living with my grandma. You know, we don't come from money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Same. You know, that's why, like for people who don't know us, if you just look at Facebook and Instagram, you might think I've heard, man, people say, man, I thought you were stuck up. Then we met you. Y'all the most down-to-earth people we've ever met, because nothing has changed, bro. When you come from nothing, you understand how that feels. And you never want to belittle somebody from being at a low point in life, because I know it was done to me, bro. You know, and I'm with Amy now, but I can even remember this, bro. J-Mac, who played a good part of my life too, man. I was sleeping on his couch, man, and we had girls come over, you know, and one time, man, I'm not talking to this guy, man, you live on your friend's couch. You a bugaboo or something like that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, look at us now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, you ain't shit. You ain't got nothing, man. You live on your friend's couch. Man, I went from times, bro, I would be living in my car, bro. I would have all my clothes in a, what do you call those plastic bins? Just bins, man. I have all my clothes bouncing everywhere, man. So I know how it feel to be
at the bottom.
Low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like I didn't even finish high school with my parents, you know, because I had, you know, me and my father, we couldn't see eye to eye, you know, and if you don't want to obey my rules, get out, you know, you go be a man, you know, so, you know, 15 years old, I'm living with my friends throughout high school, bro. So all through high school, I'm living with my friends, you know, I'm like, shit, if that's how you feel, I'm out, you know what I'm saying? So, and even with that, man, I appreciate him so much. I live with my friend Jake Story, and I live with my friend TJ, Trevor Johnson, throughout high school, you know what I'm saying? So I salute Pam Story and Stella, you know, TJ's mom, because those are, you know, nobody can ever replace my mom, never. Leanne Neville's, Leanne McKamey, that's always my mom, you know what I mean? But those women, too, they saw me as their child, too. You know, they took care of me just like they took care of their kids, you know? And I showed them I was a preacher. I cleaned the house and everything, you know what I mean? So I understand what it feels to be at the bottom. And the same with Amy. You know, Amy doesn't come from money. You know, she had a rough upbringing too. You know, you can still go to the old house she grew up in down there on North 21st. You know what I'm saying? If anybody ever drove through North 21st, you know what it looked like. Yeah, and it's an area with high crime. You know, that's where she come from too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, getting involved with the wrong people, you know, doing this and that, you know what I'm saying? She had the same rough, you know, upbringing. So we come from shit, you know what I'm saying? For real. That's why we can, and it's funny, man, when I was working with different companies, you know, they didn't say this to me, but you can understand this. They would send me to territories that were rough because they didn't feel comfortable going to those places. So they would send me there. In other words, they would send me to poverty-stricken areas, or they had a lot of people that looked like you and me, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but they were scared to go there. So they would ask me, man, Warren, every time I'm monitoring you, you go out there, you get along so well with these people. Mm-hmm. You know, in my head, I'm thinking, man, what the hell do you mean, these people? Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like, man, if you give somebody the respect that you want, how is that person going to treat you? With the same respect. You don't have to go into, bro, I'm all in Oak Cliff and everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know, these people are terrified to go here. They gave me a BS story. Yeah, the reason I don't go here, last time I pulled up to these projects, a guy came up to me with a gun. Bro, that's not how us, we don't get down like that, bro. We just don't see this white man, and I have respect for the white male as well, any color of people, but we don't operate in a fashion where we see a white person, we're just thinking, man, we for some mug him. No.
Nah,
They see how your car is marked and everything. They know you're coming to do your job.
for sure.
Now, the reason I'm excelling in those areas because I give the respect those people earn. That those people deserve, bro.
That's why I try to tell a lot of people, man, the hood not a scary place, bro. The hood it's family oriented, man. Only way you're gonna have a problem is if you come with the problem. You know what I'm saying?
You will find a problem if you come looking for it, bro.
Absolutely. And if you walk into a situation terrified, what you expect?
What do you expect, bro? What they say, a predator can sense. It can sense fear.
Absolutely.
If you coming up there looking like an easy lick, if I'm hungry, I'm supposed to get that lick, right?
Oh yeah, no question.
That's what I'm supposed to do.
No, no question.
That's exactly what it is, bro. So that's pretty much where we come from. You know what I'm saying? You after high school, you know, I live with my friends in and out of different houses. You know, even when growing up, you know, I had a trouble past as well. You know, I was always in trouble and stuff. And you know, during that time, man, you could just run the streets however. You know, we would get on our bikes, man, and we'd be all over Waco. So in a sense, man, the environment I guess we were in had a big part of raising me. You know what I mean? So I get so much knowledge and smart from that. That way I can operate on a level with the common people, and I can operate and excel in corporate America as well.
Likewise.
You see what I mean? You have to be well versed in both.
I be trying to tell people that too, because they be like, man, how you just like us, but be with this person? I'm like, bro, you just gotta get yourself up to that level. It's not hard.
It's not hard. And it's not being fake, man. I've heard people say, when you go somewhere and you talk proper, you're talking right. No, man. I'll tell you what, the African-American male and woman are some of the most educated people in this world.
Absolutely.
Talking proper doesn't mean you want to be another race.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean you're not proud of the skin you're in. I think, and this is my personal take on this, when as a black person, you think talking proper isn't associated with your race, then you're devaluing your own race.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you how, man, because another race aren't the only people that can be educated. They're not the only people who can speak well. They're not the only people that can do well in life. And once we get out of that mentality, bro, that's when people start to do better, bro.
For sure. You
know, and I think that contributes to that, the crabs in the bucket mentality that our people have. You know, they want to see you doing good, just not better than that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because we have a problem seeing ourselves as kings and queens. Yeah. And that's what we are, bro. No other race is above us, and we're not above any other race. We're a beautiful people. We're an intelligent people, bro. And I wish more people would understand that. And it isn't a sign of weakness, bro. I can go anywhere now, and man, I'm not gonna dumb myself down to fit in with a crowd. But I can guarantee you this: if I come in there talking proper, there's not a person in that facility that's gonna make me feel scared, because I know I can handle myself.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? so
cover.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's why people have to understand being intelligent doesn't make you less of a person. And it's always, the goal was always to get out of the hood, bro.
Absolutely.
But people think, man, I'm going to get big here and I'm going to stay right here. Well, that's where this comes into play. That's when people are dying. People are dying. You see these rap stars that want to still hang out, you know, in places they have no business being, bro. That's where people die, bro.
Absolutely.
It's not saying you're better than the hood. Once you elevate yourself, bro, now create other avenues to get the other people out of the hood, bro.
For sure.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Man, I grew up with that stigma of being intelligent and talking different than other people. You know, I mean, like I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? People say what they want. I always knew I'm out of here. Like, I ain't tripping. You know, I ain't gonna never forget about where I come from, but I'm not the same person. Not like what you were saying, like how me being mature. Like I knew who I was as a person probably when I was like, and a lot of people don't know themselves until they're older.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know.
You're exactly right, man. And I'll tell you what, man, and it's the same here. What a lot of people don't know, man, we've given scholarships out of our own money, man. We gave a scholarship to Conley. We gave a scholarship to MCC, paid somebody's entire tuition. You know what I mean? So when people that they get, well, people will rock with you until you say no.
Oh,
But the thing
sure.
is this, yeah, you never want to overextend yourself. You know what I mean? If I go and I help every single person, bro, now I can help nobody. I can't even help my family, bro. So you have to be smart. But it's still with that being said, we've done so much from where we come from. We've done so much for that area, bro. But somehow it still get lost. You know, like you've done so much, but you haven't done enough for us, bro. And people need to get out of that mindset as well. When somebody does something, if they do it from the kindness of their heart, we don't have to do anything. But we know where we come from. We know there's still people that need to come out of that area, and we've reached back. We've given a helping hand. You know, when people said, man, we have nothing to do. We spent over 30 grand of our own money to throw a concert in Waco.
Yeah.
For the people that Waco said, yeah, we want this. We gave you everything you wanted, but then you bit our hands.
Yeah.
You didn't support an event that you said you wanted.
Yeah.
So now when you say, hey, we need this, we want this, can you look at us for that? No, fool me once, shame on who?
Them.
You see what I mean? So for every action that happens, something has happened to make somebody, you know, extend themselves this much or underextend themselves, you know what I mean? And that doesn't mean you're turning your back on something or forgetting about anybody, bro. People have to realize that, you know what I mean? We love everybody, love where we come from, man.
Yeah,
you know, it's funny, we go, and I really appreciate that, man, to say it, don't spray it, y'all spitting here, I saw that. But yeah, man, every time we go somewhere, man, y'all from Waco, isn't that where that Dave Koresh dude is from?
I always bring up David Koresh and Chippy Joanna, but you know.
Every time, and I'm like, man, if y'all only knew the real Waco,